They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the Outlet Pass Podcast, Episode 5, a milestone for us, I believe. I'm your resident JT McConnell, still the homie's homie. More importantly, my real name, Justin DiVirgilio. Alongside me is a man who needs to explain his boys' actions this week for the Sixers, and Ben Simmons, my man Dante Parentozzi. What's up, Don?
Yeah, I'll try to back my boy up the best I can, but the homie's homie. Still the homie's homie. We'll get into that, but yeah, was good.
Nothing. I'll always be the homie's homie. I'll forever support Dario. Forever. Forever support Dario. And speaking of things that won't be forever, apparently the Warriors dynasty is crumbling off of an argument. I don't believe so. I know the media tried to push it on to me that was happening because, you know, you got to make some things intriguing in November in the NBA season, even though it already is. But what'd you think about Kevin Durant and Draymond Green having their shouting match after their loss to the Clippers on Monday night?
Well, when we first saw this and we first started all discussing it together, we kind of came to the realization that wouldn't it kind of be awesome if there was like a shift in the power of the NBA? Like, there was a little, you know, it's something that Kevin Durant, don't forget. We got to remember who Kevin Durant is. That man does not forget. Okay? And I feel like this actually got to him to some degree. Draymond also wants to get his money. Kevin Durant wants to get his money. They're both on years that, you know, they can make a good dollar in. So, and then, like, Kevin Durant wants to make that money. Like, where's it going to be? And like, is that going to play a part? How Draymond left the bad taste in his mouth? And don't forget, Clay's up for it too. So I mean, they're not going to go for 3 for 3. If they go 3 for 3, then like the whole NBA just got to take a seat for a little bit. But I don't see them getting all 3 of them back. You know, they already have Steph all that money.
Oh,
what do you think?
Definitely not going to get all of them back. But let's just stick to the situation at hand. Of course, Kevin Durant does not forget. This is the man, and you know why he doesn't forget? Because he's super sensitive. This is the man, the burner account OG, Kevin Durant.
OG. The
burner account OG, Kevin Durant. And he didn't like the way Draymond played, the way he took the rebound and just tried to push it up court. Apparently, I was watching the Mike Missinelli show today, and the producer Tyrone, shout out to those guys, I love that show. He said that, that Draymond Green and Kevin Durant actually never liked each other throughout this whole time. But it's been okay because they've won, and Steph Curry is essentially the neutral man, the middleman who can balance both guys and keep everybody at bay to focus on basketball, not personalities. And that is why Steph is on the current road trip, even though he's not playing. And he'll be reevaluated on the 24th of November. So with that new information, who do you think the Warriors try to prioritize towards KD or Draymond?
The thing is, the question more should be like, because you can get Draymond and Clay, I think, right? You can afford both. Because Draymond's not going to get a supermax. Like, come on.
But you can afford 3 maxes now. So if you can get Clay, KD, and Steph.
That's not feasible. Then who are you going to have on your – who's playing the bench role?
I don't know.
Guy, you can't – who's filling out the rest of the starting lineup? The bench literally might be made up of players that, you know, like Utah Jazz players or something. I don't even know. Losing by 50 out here. Fuck.
Oh, yeah. We don't even need to –
yeah.
That was so –
what the hell?
Oh, breaking news. According to Bleacher Report, since we're on topic about the Warriors, KD is done talking about his relationship with Draymond. Quote from Kevin Durant, "Don't ask me that again." And he's wearing
Don't ask me that again.
The Nike Tech Fleece hoodie like he always does. He definitely not in a good mood. Doesn't want to be
You
talked.
got the Redskins hat on?
Nah, he had the hood.
Damn.
He had the hoodie
He
on.
had that on last night. I was sick about it.
Well, he's the DC boy. So.
We're Birds fans out here, so. But I feel that. I get it. He's showing love.
So,
about time he shows love to something.
And as I was saying, maybe Kevin Durant's ears were ringing. Maybe, just maybe, we have a side deal with Bleacher Report. They just fed us this information.
Oh.
But KD, burner account OG, a.k.a. Mr. Sensitive. He said, don't ask me that. I agree with the comment. Kinda, but still. He's so sensitive. Like, Draymond actually straight up answered it. He said he's not going to change who he is. Did he force
That's such
Kevin?
a Draymond thing to do.
I mean, I like Draymond. Like, there's nothing wrong with what he said. And the reason KD gets more of a pass than Draymond, because Draymond's more in your face and is not as talented as Kevin Durant. That's bottom line.
Well, Draymond in his own respect, and especially in the finals, has become like pretty polarizing for a lot of people. Not as much so as KD. But when you're getting two, on one hand, like you got like a fucking pit bull like Draymond. I apologize for the cursing, but a pit bull like Draymond. But you got a dog on the other side that tries to bark, but he ain't gonna chomp on you. Because KD don't chomp. KD, I'm not even trying to make a dog analogy. I'm a little ass at it, but my point is that like literally Draymond would like literally chew him apart. But KD will stand there and be like, yo, like, I ain't going to take your nonsense still. Like, I'll go sign my money somewhere else. And guess what? You ain't going to win anymore. And I don't care.
KD's passive-aggressive.
Yeah, he's so passive. He can just say, yo, I don't care. Like, I'll go win somewhere else. Or guess what? I'll go get my money and I'll retire. I already got mine. I got mine.
And it runs in the family because Tony Durant, KD's brother, posted on Instagram, true colors ain't hard to see when someone is mad. It's so much more clearer now. LOL. Instead of competing with what's already written, just follow along before the greatness is done rubbing off on you and people see you for what you really are. Kind of super, super cryptic, of course.
Of course.
But why is the brother getting involved? Somebody, like, can you explain that to me? Why?
There's been a lot of times when family members have gotten involved. There's like some fathers have said something, some uncles.
But it makes me sway towards Draymond because
it makes you want to like feel for Draymond. It's like not feel for him, but like be like, yo, he didn't have anybody like trying to back him up in his corner, like
because they're grown fucking men.
Grown men.
One's 6'9" and the other one's 6'11". Speak, yell at each other. Okay. What the fuck? Like. It's just ridiculous. And again, KD's going to get a pass because the Warriors are going to win a third straight title, and he's probably going to win a third straight finals MVP, and then he's going to dip. That's exactly what's happening.
And things look all nice and dandy when they're winning, So Warriors looked untouchable. And when you win, there's no reason to be mad at each other. When you lose, heads get ripped off.
Real quick, that's why I didn't like why the media perpetuated this story.
Yeah.
Because a person who's been following the league for a while, like myself, like yourself, we know Kevin Durant is not staying. At least I believe that. There's rumblings that he's going elsewhere. He's beefed up his business portfolio. He has the right people. He's doing the right things that way. And he wants to move to the East.
He's trying to build an empire on the East Coast.
So,
I think he will do that.
It's just...
LeBron's got his hand in L.A. big time. Not that Kevin Durant couldn't, because Kevin Durant's actually a Silicon Valley guy. He has like a lot of investments and stuff, like as an angel investor. But KD can go on the East Coast. He does a lot of that. You know what I like? I like the high school basketball page he has. That's a page by him.
No, you're informing me of new information.
I forget what the company is right now. It'll come to me, but He's like, I think it's 8i Media. 8i Media, I think, is KD.
Oh, I know 8i. I've been known 8i.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 8i Media, yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, congratulations, Kevin Durant.
Pretty awesome.
Love the support, but you're still a bitch. Oh, man.
Still the second best player in the league, though, I would say.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But
let's not get it twisted. He's a good baller.
Yeah, one of the best players in the league. But now let's let's move on forward to an issue that I have reached a little crack. There's a little crack in my back about this. There's one of the straws have broken with the Markelle Fultz situation. It started with a Drew Hanlon tweet about maybe a week ago or so. He says, somebody tweeted at him, "Pure sucker, come to the podium, please. The basketball world got a couple questions for you." Drew Hanlon said, "Here's your reply. 1, hate on me all you want, but don't hate on players. That's not professional. 2, you don't know his situation. He's still not healthy," talking about Markelle Fultz. 3, he went from 0% to 31% from 3, and from 48% to 67% from the free throw line. Progress. 4, his 3-point percentage is higher than your man crush Kuz. #fact. So, there is part 1. Now, after that, leaking this information that Markelle Fultz is no longer healthy in this fiasco that this situation has been, not very smart. It's just another dig that people can use to tear him down. And then, after this, Markelle Fultz, it was one of the worst free throws possibly in NBA history, where he said the ball slipped out of his hand against the Miami Heat. I'm sure you saw it. He was going up, and there was a little hitch, and he rocked it back and forth and shot. Almost made it. I will say, almost made it.
He almost did, yeah.
But there's that. And then 15 minutes after that free throw, Alex Kennedy of Hoops Hype tweeted, "Markelle Fultz and Drew Hanlon are no longer working together or on speaking terms. No word on why the two parted ways, but their relationship deteriorated about 3 weeks ago."
Prior. 3 weeks ago is an interesting timeline. One that I cannot figure out.
I don't know what could have happened in 3 weeks. Did Drew Hanlon did he forget to pick up Markelle's Chick-fil-A? Did he decide not to be in the Snapchat video of his? I don't know what's going on. I really don't. But this is all very interesting. And I think this is what it is to me. I am pissed about the situation now. I'm still supporting Markelle 100% because I still think he can play basketball. As we talked in our group chat, I said last night, the only thing that's a problem is is the jump shot. And it's only a problem sometimes. He can dribble still. He can get to the rack. He can pass. He can defend. He shows effort. He dives on the floor. Even though it looks like he's very lackadaisical, he's playing with energy. My thing is, why are you continuing to lie to us as fans, as people who want to support you, people, just your peers? You're lying to your peers in public. You said the ball slipped out of your hand. You know how big Markelle Fultz's hands are? How could the ball slip out of both of your hands?
Dude, it's just
And, sorry to cut you off, but I got more of a timeline because I've been thinking about this. Remember?
Give it to me, boy.
Remember in September when he got interviewed by Isaiah Thomas, a fellow point guard in the league?
Yeah.
With the Players Tribune? Very strategic there, Kel. You know why? Because an actual interviewer would have went deeper into when you said, I had a shoulder injury. Isaiah Thomas let it rock.
Let it rock.
All right, cool, that's what he said. Come on, man. Unless it's a nerve injury. But people are saying that he can't lift his head his arm above his shoulder. He's jumping up and down, waving his arms around. So something is wrong in his head. And the only way you get past something is when you admit that that's the problem. It's kind of like him continuing to say, having all the excuses when he's just not addressing it's in his head. And I think once he does that, whenever it is, it'll be okay. Then the people will understand or try to understand the problem. People who really want to see him succeed, Sixers fans and basketball fans in general, and then it'll be okay. But stop lying to us. Just stop it.
He is younger than us, okay? I'm not a liar in my trade, but you have eyes on you. And when you don't have an answer, or at least an answer that you want to give to people, You're gonna lie. You're gonna deceive them in a way that frames you as best you can. But some of the stuff you just can't lie. Like the ball don't lie.
But you can't.
Literally,
you also
a
can't.
pump fake on the free throw line.
You can try to control the narrative on social media. That's the entire point. Everybody posts good shit. Everybody knows that. Everybody only posts really good stuff about their life. But when you're being reported on and there's other stuff, that like it's a balance. So why not just tell the truth? Because when it's confronted to you, you can answer just normally. You don't have to, people can't see through it. And if they don't believe you, but if you keep saying the same answer, like he's changed his answer multiple times.
Yeah, he's just.
That's the thing.
It's a lapse for him.
It's man. It's just too much drama. I just want the Sixers to be a normal franchise. That's all I really want at this point.
It's frustrating to see because we put a lot of eggs in that basket, and as much as we want to root for him, we came into the season literally saying he was my prediction that he would literally shoot 14 times a game. He's like, I kind of think he's like petrified to shoot. Now the minute's offset because, you know, how do you not play Redick? And obviously Jimmy Butler's there now. But
you have to play Redick.
So you have to play Redick.
And Jimmy Butler, that's the big news. That's the big news.
Ben and Markelle on the court together really don't make sense. Their net efficiency rating is actually a negative, and Ben's one of the best defenders, but it doesn't work with Ben. And as much as you want to say, the hope is to try to lift Markelle, you got to win right this second, and Ben on the court without Markelle is more beneficial for the entire Sixers team.
100%. And Kell coming off as a backup point guard, he looks way more comfortable. He just knows how to run the offense, and he's doing all the little stuff. He's sneaky on the offensive boards. And
yeah.
So just play them apart and figure it out. This is where Brett Brown's coaching will be tested and GM Elton Brand will be tested. And GM Elton Brand passed one test, got the third star. Jimmy Butler keeps number 23.
Third star.
And I think he'll make the Sixers better as he's an elite two-way player. The Sixers now have probably the best top talent heavy team in the Eastern Conference. They're 3.
Yep.
All right. Glad we agree. Now, before the Magic game, I didn't compile these stats, but he'll add scoring. He's the only he's one of 5 players, and the 5 players being LeBron, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and another. And then there's Jimmy Butler as only players with averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in the past 2 seasons, or however many seasons.
Nice.
It's a pretty good list. And he'll add scoring to the Sixers because the Sixers actually have been outscored by 7 points in 13 games. Obviously. And he only averages 2 turnovers this season. Turnovers are an awful thing for the Sixers.
For the Sixers, horrible. So bad.
How do you think Jimmy Butler will benefit this team as well?
Well, in the fourth quarter, it becomes obviously it's a game of runs. In the fourth quarter, I feel like we always tend to give up the lead in the third or the beginning of the fourth, and then Joel starts to get a little tired because they ask a lot out of this dude. He's trying to do it all, and I mean, if you could kind of take a load off his shoulders, Ben needs to put more of a load on. By the way, Ben needs to kick it into next year. He's doing okay, but I need to see like the wrath in his eyes that just says I'm going to come down and dunk on you.
Ben needs to go at guys.
He needs to go at them.
Stop trying to go around them.
He's larger than them. Just do I'm very okay with that little thing he does with his either hand, he does the little floater. He does it more with his right. And kind of
the little runner across the paint.
Yeah. I'm very okay when he does that because it's still a good shot for him.
Yeah, he makes it.
He shoots over 50% from the field for a reason because I understand where his shots are coming from. But
the painted
guess
area.
what? I was impressed with him that he late in the game in that Magic game, even though we didn't win it, he did hit both his free throws at the end of the game.
That was the only good thing he really did. That Magic game, he did not have a good game.
But I said to myself, I'm like, all right, Ben, I want to see you hit these 2 free throws and show yourself that, you can ball and you need to show Jimmy Butler, you need to show the whole Sixers team that we're gonna bang together and I'm gonna help this cause. But you need to start really being a dog. He's not a dog yet quite this season. I mean, he's not bad. Don't get me wrong. He's been playing fine. But we're looking for Ben to just kick it to the next level, aren't we?
We're waiting for Ben to take another step. I think he might have skipped a step last year, at least in my eyes, because I didn't expect him to play like that. Personally, I didn't know. I didn't really see it in college. I wasn't a believer. I wasn't a son of Ben. So, but last year, I'm on now. I'm good. Now he just needs to, like I've been saying, I've said multiple times, either you need to use a floater or develop a post-up game. Because if you're 6'10", you're posting up guys, and you take too long to get into a shot, you can't do anything else besides run point guard. But Jimmy Butler he messed pretty well. He looked fine, had 14.
Yeah, he looks fine
against the Magic. As time will come, Jimmy Butler's a pro. He's past 4 years been an all-star. He'll adjust. I believe he'll adjust. But this now affects the rotation. The starting rotation is very solid.
Awesome.
It's Simmons, Redick, Butler, Wilson Chandler, Joel Embiid. Now the bench is kind of shaky. It's a lot of inexperience. Mike Muscala got bodied defensively last game. He was getting moved by everybody.
Vucevic had a day, and then even on the 3-point line, he's not quick enough.
No, he's
not quick enough. They stick with these wings if they try to do a switch on to him.
So then you have Muscala. He's been around the league for a while, but still kind of inexperienced. Never played in a high-pressure situation like now the Sixers are. Landry Shamet. Inexperienced, but I believe in Landry. He looks like
him.
He looks like he's a gamer. He's ready to play. He wants to hoop. Wichita State, he played in high-pressure situations in college. Markelle Fultz. He would be my 8th man off the bench.
Oh, come on, really?
Well, either way, I mean, it's not bad. He's the backup point guard.
So our 6-man's Landry, is that what it's come to?
6-man's Mike Muscala.
That's sad. Sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
let's be honest with ourselves.
We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere.
Let's break down the trade a little bit, and let's show where we won and where we lost, because we did win the trade, but we lost but there's still an opportunity to make us even further this team. Okay, let's break down the trade for us. You want me to take care of it? I can do this.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the biggest priorities for us was to essentially get a third star, obviously, which we did. Jimmy Butler, awesome player. What did that do? We had to send away 2 guys and then another guy that doesn't play, but who was a couple dollars on our books in Jared Bales. And the pick. The pick was a thing to say, hey, thanks for taking Bales in my mind. But I'll get to it. Covington, first team all defense. Awesome player. Helped space the floor for Ben. Inefficient at times. But on defense, he was one of the most solid players in the league. I remember some games he literally made Kemba shoot 1 for like 15 from the field, and it was awesome.
Covington haters don't remember those.
Yeah. But Covington was great. Was a great defender. And then Sarge was a young talent that was going to get paid, and that pay would have came at a good amount. And at this point, we understand that we need to pay Ben next year, most likely, or give him an extension next year. And Ben's going to want all the money he can for the right reasons. Let's be fair. Ben's a top 5 jersey seller in the league. He was last year, and that's pretty damn big. So Ben knows his value to the Sixers, to the NBA, and he's going to leverage that. And they understand that, so they need to have money for him when the time comes. So they couldn't pay Sarge. As much as we wanted to keep him, we love Sarge. He was a great talent. He fit well. He was a glue guy through and through. But that made essentially 6 core amazing players that we had on the Sixers. By amazing, I mean could all very much be starters.
Yes.
Covington and Sarge were in the lineup. Obviously, Butler's not here yet. Fultz was the starter at that time, but Redick was probably the better player. Redick being your 6th man was awesome. Chandler was obviously hurt at the time, but Chandler as a 7th man, essentially, I think he's ahead of Muscala.
What they gained in talent, they lost in depth.
they lost in depth. And that was an issue coming into the trade. Was we lacked depth, but we also lacked a third star. Do we want to pack that punch, or what can we do? In an 82-game season, not even including the playoffs, that's a lot to demand out of 5 to 6 guys. One injury goes down, you're really playing with guys you probably didn't expect to put in.
Which is
now,
why
there's guys, we have guys that are dependable, correct? We can say that. TJ McConnell's dependable. You know what you're going to get out of him. But if you need to depend on him that much, and Markelle isn't picking up the slack, then that is not what we set out to do. Markelle needs to somehow figure this out, because a lot of this is contingent on how he can contribute to the team. Being the 8th best just is not getting the job done. It's like kissing your sister. Come on, Cal, you were the first overall pick.
All right. But what I'm saying is now put the past behind us. I'm going to be optimist guy.
Putting it behind me.
Fuck the number 1 pick. I understand it's a big deal, but it's the number 1 pick. Who cares? Everything happened. Jason Tatum, the Sixers kind of got screwed in that trade. As of today. But whatever.
As of today.
But the bench, in my eyes, like I was saying, Muscala, Shamet, Fultz, Furkan, then Amir. And then TJ and Bolden maybe. But so now all these guys, they're going to have to rally together to create something worth playing for. No, not worth paying for. Worth putting out. Something formidable off the bench. Now, all the guys are inexperienced, but I'll tell you, Landry Shamet looks like he wants to play and produce. Furkan Korkmaz, although he cannot play that much defense, he looks like he can score. He got a quick release, he's tall, and he can hit that little floater and can handle the ball a little bit. Amir Johnson still plays pretty good defense. Mike Muscala has had a bad week and a half or so, but I think he'll bounce back.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I think the Sixers need another stretch 4. They need, and they're going to be big buyout in the buyout market, just like they were last year. And how weird is this? Nobody's talking about it because he's not that big a name and he plays in Northern California. But couldn't we use Bjelica right now, who left the Sixers? He's averaging 12 points. No, not trading him. I'm saying, imagine if we kept him and we still made this trade. Because then we would have our backup stretch 4 in our pocket in Bjelica. Then we got rid of Dario and Covington. Same trade, but we just had Bjelica in our back pocket. He would have been playing. He's averaging 12 points right now on the surprising Kings in the first 6 weeks of the season, shooting 52% from the field and 51% from three-point range. That's
wow.
Yeah.
How many has he taken?
I don't know.
Do we have a number on that?
I don't know, but still.
Holy crap.
So, yeah, I brought some information. And then
damn, you brought it.
Here are some other options at stretch 4 for a trade market. You have the Morris brothers, Philly natives, Marcus and Markieff. Marcus of the Celtics, averaging 14 points a game, 50% from the field, and 48% from 3. Then you have Markieff, 10 points a game, 48% from the field, 34% from three-point range. And my last one, Al-Farouq Aminu of the Portland Trailblazers, averaging 9, 43%, and 38% from three-point range.
But so awesome defender.
Awesome defenders. They can switch. They can body guys. Those are the type of players we need. I don't know what kind of guys who will be bought out, though. If the Sixers can somehow swing a trade, because Markieff Morris, at some point, if the Wizards keep trending down, they're probably going to unload him, Bradley Beal, and maybe, if they really want to, Otto Porter. They might blow the whole thing up.
Oh, really? Even Otto could potentially. Yeah, they should.
Otto's getting grossly overpaid. People complain about Covington. I would love to live in D.C. I would love to hear it. But that's another I love you, Cov. Love you, Dario. Real troopers of the process. Do well out in Minnesota. My second and third favorite players on the Timberwolves, outside of Derrick Rose.
D-Rose, there it is.
And then Marcus, contract year, rival Celtics. But I don't know if they're going to pay him what they want. Because then they have a lot of options, the Celtics. They have to deal with a lot this year.
They have a lot going on. And the moving parts will be interesting.
They have to try and extend Rozier, Kyrie, and Marcus Morris. I think they'll probably part ways with at least two of the three, maybe two of the three. So maybe they'll get rid of
thing
Marcus
is-
Morris and then Alfred Camino. I don't know if the Blazers would want to make a trade with us, but those are my
That's the
three
thing.
options. Which one would you
Just like
want
you
out of those
said-
three?
Just like you said with the Blazers, why would Danny Ainge want to deal with us? We don't want to listen. We got an eye like now. We're like Danny Ainge. Like we don't want to deal with Danny Ainge because of how bad we got kind of screwed with the Markelle thing. Who knew that would have happened? Obviously, that was like something that
Danny
we
Ainge
never
doesn't get credit
expected.
for that. I don't care.
But I mean, at the same time, like he knows who his competition is. In that scenario, I know it's tough. Like it's not that easy to just move a guy, but if we're gonna be like, hey, we'll pay him for the rest of the season or whatever, we'll pay him. Bye. But also, you want fours only, huh? You're looking for a stretch four.
That's what they need. They need a stretch four who can put the ball on the floor on his own, make threes, and play defense. Because you watched the Magic game, Wilton Chandler looked damn good.
Damn good.
And I might
that.
be
I was
overreacting.
happy.
He looked damn good. He looked
I was
comfy.
happy.
He looked athletic.
Pop. A little pop. in
Had
him.
some pop. So if they get that off the bench to add to the, and if Landry and Furkan are on the shooters and Fultz can run the offense well and get to the rim, everything spaces out. That's what they need. I can't fathom as to why people want Kyle Korver over a stretch four who can play on both ends of the floor. Why do you want old Kyle Korver? I get he's a sharpshooter. I get it.
You know who I want?
But this league playoff time, you cannot have too many mismatches on defense. And the Sixers already have two in my mind. They have J.J. Redick and Mike Muscala. Both guys who will get abused on defense.
Yeah, that's why both can't be in at the same time in the playoffs. That's why we take for granted how great those Ersan and Bellinelli moves were last year. They were awesome moves.
Yeah, but don't give Bellinelli credit like he played defense.
No, not even for defense, but he could just come in and give you and contribute right away.
Oh, microwave, yeah.
Yeah. But what I will say is a guy that I've been trying to keep an eye on, see what they're saying about him is Courtney Lee. And I know you said you want to stretch four, but this guy can hit the three. He's great from the free throw line. Now, it's something that people don't talk about often, but we're a team that does miss a good amount of free throws.
That is true.
So, I mean, it's just something to shore it up. I mean, and he could put the ball on the floor, and he's a good player. He's a little hurt right now, I think.
He's been hurt for like
the Knicks. What is that Knicks going to do with the dollar they're paying him? Like, come on, what is he like?
The Knicks might as well sell because a great couple of draft prospects are coming out. It would be a smart move. That is interesting. Maybe they need somebody who is long, who can shoot, and I don't know if I prefer a stretch four, but another 2 or 3 who can defend at least 3 positions, that would be good.
Hey, listen, I got to ask you something, okay? Because you just mentioned prospects, and as much as I love talking about the Sixers, it's one of the most favorite things I love to talk about. We got to talk about it at least one time. And I know this is an NBA podcast. We got to say that boy's name. Zion is that boy. Just can we talk about it for 2 minutes at least? Just give me 2 minutes of Zion. 2 minutes.
All right.
What do you got? What do you got for me on him?
Well, he is the most physically imposing prospect since LeBron James. That is the only way I'll compare him to LeBron James. Because these other publications get it misconstrued or try to make it misconstrued because people, they want outrage and say, you cannot compare him to LeBron James. You can because they both are built pretty husky at 19 years old and we're playing against boys as grown men, as they got their man body pretty early. So, but other than that, I'm going to flip it on you because just personally, the better prospect to me as a well-rounded player right now who I think will be more effective, at least year 1 and year 2, RJ Barrett. That boy is mean.
He's awesome.
He's crafty.
He's a good player.
And he's pretty athletic.
The thing is, he's going to be an awesome player in the league. He'll be
both
all day long a 9 to 10 time All-Star. But this dude Zion can come into this league and he's a higher flyer. I heard this today and I was like, damn, is he really? They said he's a high flyer like more on Charles Barkley than Charles Barkley. Like he has like that Charles Barkley-esque like height, who can get the rebound and dog you down low a little bit. But the thing is, he also can handle the ball and he can shoot. He's shooting better than we expected.
Yeah,
you know. And I get when we all say R.J. Barrett's the most complete player, but in terms of a ceiling, and like the Zion ceiling. And if you think about this from a GM standpoint and an organization, the name Zion Williamson will sell out arenas for the next 5 years.
Yeah, because he's had a following for a couple of years.
It's crazy. I've known about it since I was like...
He was 16.
A sophomore in college or a middler in college.
Yeah, he was dunking against
now
little white kids.
Yeah, at Spartanburg, whatever he was at.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see. We all spoke about how, and this comes a little bit full circle, how we anticipated, hopefully the Sacramento Kings would really stink coming into this year. We get the first overall pick, we grab a guy. It could have been Zion, could have been RJ. But there was a chance we could have got it. But now we're like, damn, the Kings are actually balling a little bit.
They are.
We haven't given them much love or any love whatsoever because like they're literally
they're in Sacramento.
The third most liked team in LA or in California, or fourth. I guess the Clippers might have more love.
Clippers
in
definitely
California.
have more love. I actually like the Clippers roster more than the Kings roster, but that's a
Yeah,
different
I like
conversation.
Tobias Harris, but that's But I mean, it's not like De'Aaron Fox is balling right now.
Yeah. Oh, you said Tobias Harris. Well, speaking of players who still wear headbands in the NBA,
Tobias Harris.
Carmelo Anthony is in the news yet again for another story that sounds kind of the same. His time is coming to an end in Houston. He's not traveling with the team, but they're seeking possible options. Now, I posted a poll on the Outlet Pass Podcast IG at the Outlet Pass Podcast on Instagram, shameless plug. And I said, is Melo's career better off in China? I didn't post the results, but when I last looked, the people who voted said yes. Now, I did not mean that as a dig at Carmelo Anthony, as much as I love to say that he's not a good player. As an overall player, he's not the best. Great one-on-one player? Absolutely. So, why wouldn't a 6'9" small forward or stretch four go to the Chinese Basketball League, where there's about 25 less games? It's less physically demanding because you're a better athlete than most of those Chinese players or failed NBA players. And the three-point line is shorter. And you can just score because you're Carmelo Anthony. You are a celebrity there. Jimmer Fredette scored 75 points in a game last week. 41 of them being in the fourth quarter. So, if you think being in China, if you're a Carmelo Anthony fan, is an insult, me insulting him, or him being exiled to China, it's not. I'm really just trying to help your boy out. And if you don't think so, just stop listening to me, honestly, because that is the most realistic scenario. Because you cannot name another NBA team that would want to take him, or you could think he would fit on, because you don't know. You just like him. And he's become a buyout guy, and they can't accept it. So
yeah, a lot of people don't want to accept it. There's a lot of Melo fans out there.
This is long
Why
overdue.
not? Melo was the man. Melo was the man for so long. Of course he never got it. Did he ever get to the Western Conference Finals or win it? No, of course not. Shame. He had to run through Kobe Bryant. He had to run through Tim Duncan. He had to run through friggin' Dallas Mavericks to a certain extent. The Suns were always one of the most competitive teams out there. But, they didn't even get anywhere. It was tough. The Nuggets had a good squad. They had Chauncey. That's when he was at his best, let's say. So let's be real with ourselves.
Prime
he was at his
Melo
best there.
Nuggets, and then a couple years at the Knicks.
But, I mean, he won his gold medals with the U.S. That was a huge accomplishment for him. He's did a lot of things in his career that he can hang his hat and say, yo, I did a good job. You say go to China. I say, Melo, what's wrong with retiring? You've been in 14 years in the league. You came in the same year Dwayne Wade came into the league, and he is retiring at the end of the season. What makes you think that you got more gas in the tank than Dwayne Flash Wade?
I'll tell you why. And I don't know, but I I don't know personally because we don't know these guys, but I know from watching and hearing stories, his ego, from what I know, is bigger than Dwayne Wade's. Why do you think he was on the Nuggets, then they traded him because they wanted to rebuild? Cool. But then he went to the Knicks. Remember that year he went to the Knicks? The Knicks were playing well. Amari Stoudemire was averaging around 30 points a game. He was in the MVP talk. Guess what the Knicks did? They didn't do shit. They maybe won one series with Carmelo Anthony there. And they gave up way too much for him. But that's
Way
the
too
past.
much.
Then you had him who overstayed his welcome. And then now you have him on the Thunder. Didn't work. Didn't want to sit on the bench. Then you have him with the Rockets, playing with one of his best friends for the first time in the NBA. Because he only played with his best friends in the Olympics. And like you mentioned, gold medals, you know why he's better as Olympics? Because the three-point line shooter is shorter. I'm serious.
Yeah, sure, you're right.
You notice he always pump fakes and then takes that one small dribble and takes a long range two. Nails them. But those feet matter. That foot or two matters. Because that's why you're not a threat. And you also like to stop the ball. So either Melo go to an awful, horrendous team, go to China, or retire. Whatever one you want to pick. I don't care.
And there's nothing wrong with retiring. I look at Melo. I don't want his reputation to deteriorate at all. I look at Melo and I say, you know what, Melo? I say you in a baby blue powder jersey, getting buckets, being a scoring champion, which I'm sure he was. He definitely was a scoring champion, correct? Quote me on that.
I believe so. At one point.
I believe, yeah. And all-star for many years. I can respect him. He's one of the best players ever to not win a ring. He really is. He could just flat out score the ball. Flat out score.
Yep, he played in the wrong time. And speaking of people who can score the ball, LeBron James, now, fifth
my guy
on the NBA all-time scoring list, passing Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, former Laker, and now at 31,425 points, he's now behind his airness in Michael Jordan. What do you think about LeBron passing the record? You think? No, let me just. You think he's going to be the all-time NBA scoring leader when it's all said and done?
You know, to get to Kareem's number is so difficult. But if LeBron can keep his body healthy till he's 40, what does he need to score? 23 or 22 points a game for the next 5 years to do that or something like that? Very, very feasible. But that's really up to LeBron. If LeBron says he wants to do it, guess what? He'll do it. Because that's LeBron.
I agree. Let's see. Now,
does he really need to chase that? Does that drive him? You think that drives him personally?
A little bit. Why wouldn't it? Think about it because, all right, let me name the top 5 scorers on this list. So LeBron's number 5 now, like I said. Michael Jordan, number 4. LeBron grew up watching Jordan, right? So he's chasing him. 3, Kobe Bryant. LeBron grew up watching Kobe Bryant a little bit, chasing him. Karl Malone, definitely watched him. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, definitely watched a lot of highlights of him. So 4 legends in the NBA. That is where the good part of someone's ego comes out. Because when LeBron goes off in games like this, he had 44 last night. Last night being Wednesday night. And guess what? The Lakers won. They beat Portland at home. So
yeah, but how much are we going to get that out of him?
I think he can still do it. Why can't he do it?
He could still do it, but on a consistent basis, i.e., not the playoffs. In the playoffs, my man will
not do the same thing. Oh yeah, he's going to do that in the playoffs.
These young guns right now need to get some games together, and LeBron will be the best player on the team, but they got to say, yo, I'm gonna go out there and get 20 for you, Bron. Josh Hart's going to get some buckets one game. Kuzma's going to put a couple good games together. Brandon Ingram. They got to start picking up a load because the big thing about LeBron is you got to save the man for the playoffs. He'll give you all the minutes you need him to in the playoffs. So do everything you need him to do.
But
he'll be the best player in the world. That whole time, it's a lot of time.
Don't they need LeBron to be Superman-esque to be in the best position come playoff times? Meaning, you win as many games as you can in the regular season because you think about it. He is one of the oldest players on that team now because LeBron's 33. Then you have Rajon Rondo, who's maybe a year or two younger than him. Then you have Tyson Chandler, who's 36. Other than that, those two are the oldest. So you have a bunch of young players, and they never played in NBA playoffs before. Why would you not want to start at home? So being able to do that, do I think...
But is it attainable? Is it attainable?
If LeBron can try and average almost a triple-double, and
Jeez.
If he's averaging 28, and then the other guys are contributing, then it might be feasible. I still think they're going to get a 6th seed. But it could be feasible.
6 seeds.
If LeBron chases well, he's not going to chase the scoring record this season, but chases an MVP-like season, well, he'll be in it anyway because he's LeBron. He's been in the conversation since 2009 for MVP. But if he does that again at a different level, and these other guys, since he has more talent around him than I believe he's ever had before. So, besides the Olympics, which don't count. But
Besides the Heat.
But who else was talented? You had LeBron, Chris Bosh, D-Wade, and then name some more talent on the Heat. That was
but at that point, like, you know, we have a big three, but who else do we got, right? But I mean, like, LeBron is 1.5 people on the court at the time. Dwayne Wade at that time was the second best shooting guard in the league. You know, Chris Bosh was a 6-7 time All-Star by that point. You know, these guys were proven veteran players who could put their team on their back. Hey, Bron, you ain't getting buckets tonight? Well, guess what? Me and D-Wade got you. You know, I want to see Kuzma be like, Bron, you give us 15 tonight, you give us some assists. I'm gonna knock down my shots. You give it to me. All right, Kuz, thanks. Like, that's fair. Like I need the young guys to say, all right, Bron, like, we're gonna step up.
Well, I think
Kuzma's been doing well. I don't want to take that away from Kuzma.
He's a man. I think Kyle Kuzma is a man. He's ready to take on responsibility. But with that being said, LeBron needed to do super LeBron things. The Lakers are quietly playing better. As quiet as the Lakers could be playing, because they're reported on every day now, is they won 4 straight. So
how about that?
That's interesting. Just a little thing to put out there. And LeBron had a breakout game and a record broken. Now, I didn't even mean to bump in this segue, but breaking things. Caris LaVert's injury. Did you see it?
I saw enough of it where I didn't want to see it. That's fair.
Well, first off, I love that everybody was hoping for Caris LaVert to be fine. He only suffered like a dislocated ankle, and he's expecting to play this year. I don't know what It kind of looked worse than Gordon Hayward's last year. But my next question. Personally rank these terrible injuries. Caris LaVert's, Paul George's in a USA game. You know the one. Gordon Hayward's last year opening night against the Cavs. And Kevin Ware in the Final Four.
Kevin Ware by a mile. If you didn't say his name, I was going to say none of the above.
Okay.
Kevin Ware was on a Sunday. I was sitting around watching it. We all watched it at Aunt Connie's house. And we sat there and we were like, holy shit. This is one of the saddest injuries ever. And they were showing it. They were showing it on the thing. And people were like, oh, my God. Kevin Ware's injury drove me bonkers.
Okay, so you got Kevin Ware number 1. Now, what's number 2?
Gordon Hayward's.
Gordon Hayward's. Number 3.
Because the reaction by Gordon Hayward was bad.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3. Kobe Bryant Achilles, I think, was horrible to watch, to be honest with you. And you didn't even ask about that. That was sickening. I'm sorry.
No, I gave you 4 to rank.
I know 4. I'll give you your 3rd. Your 3rd would be Paul George was pretty sad because it was so not necessary. And that's how the same thing was Hayward thing. And the LaVert thing, that really didn't need to happen. I mean, it's basketball. It's going to happen. You're going to take those type of risks. It's a routine play for a lot of guys. It doesn't happen. And I get that. But I would say LaVert is actually, for me, not the top 3.
Okay, so it's 4th.
I can't believe we're judging injuries, but yeah, it's 4th.
All right, so now I'll give you mine. Mine, Paul George, number 1. Only because when someone breaks their leg like that, it shouldn't look like you could push it and it looks like you do the robot arm. Like that shit just hangs and it'll sway back and forth. So, no, I'm cool. Then Kevin Ware, because the bone was literally... I still don't understand how that injury happened. And then I'm going to go with Caris LaVert. Just because the angle they got it at, you see it pop. And it's just like Gordon Hayward's. That's what I'm going with.
You got Gordon at 3?
Gordon 4. So PG, Kevin Ware, Caris LaVert, Gordon Hayward. But on a lighter note, I mean, I think Caris LaVert's going to bounce back and be a pretty good player. He was pretty good last year. He's been pretty good this year. I didn't really just want to rank injuries to end the podcast.
I know. Now I'm like, to be honest, I'm in front of my computer and I just started looking up a couple injuries. Yeah. I looked up Porzingis because that was like just an immediate ACL, you know, and that's just, it's tough to see. Makes me sick. I wish all these players, obviously some have come back healthy. Caris LaVert's out right now.
Well, two out of the 4 we mentioned are back and healthy. Paul George has got a great contract. Gordon Hayward's getting used to playing again. Kevin Ware, I'm pretty sure he used his degree and now is working. So, that's good. And Caris LaVert will be fine. I believe so.
Yeah, LaVert will be fine. Porzingis, patience with him. There's someone that I want to. There's a couple Knicks fans that actually listen to this, and they're big supporters of Porzingis and everything that's potentially looking ahead for them. So they have no problem with him sitting for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, tank.
Yeah, totally tank. Frank's still young. I can't say his last name. You are phenomenal at it.
Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
But they got to go into tank season for a year or two.
Yeah,
unless the free agency comes around. Unless the free agents come around, because that's the thing. That's what's so exciting about them. The free agents could just pop their heads right in there. New York City.
Yeah, they'll love that.
And whip it.
Got anything else? What else is pressing in the NBA? I don't really know. Nope. The Bucks are still on a roll. Even though
Bucks on a roll.
As great as Brook Lopez has been, I'm gonna throw some Brook Lopez shade.
Throw that shade.
His catch and shoot numbers are awesome, but you're not really gonna go 28 feet to guard a 7-footer. So it's kind of the cheat code that they cracked and learned how to use. So good on the Bucks, but some of your threes are pretty much practice catch and shoots because nobody's running out to you because they don't want to leave all that space open in between the 3-point line and the rim. What else? The Celtics, not looking too good for all our Boston fans that listen. Appreciate you guys. And I just want to know if they're worried. Is that because there's only one ball and they have multiple guys who need the basketball?
Well, the first thing I say to them when we talk about it, we say, oh, how's the Celtics? We're saying, oh, well, you guys were, you got Jimmy Butler. That's a great move for you guys. Some people think you lost the depth, and they always argue that they have depth. But like you pointed out, there's only one ball. But what I'll point out is I am not nervous with them. They just went on a 5-game road trip. And to do that early in the season, they'll remember that they did not do well on that road trip. They lost games that they shouldn't have lost. Okay? And the next time they go on a road trip later on the season for that to the West Coast, they'll remember we took L's here. We're not going to do that again. We're going to leave this road trip 4-1 or 3-2. They didn't do that hot on the road trip, and that might have left a bad taste in all their mouths. So I really think they get back a couple games. They put a couple home games together. They'll be fine. I'm not really nervous about them. They'll probably finish 2 seed. I think the Bucks at one point will slip a little bit. I still think we'll probably end up with the third or the fourth. The game or two difference between us and the Bucks at this point, barring no injury. But obviously that's a big part of the game. But
I have one. Yeah, I have one quick hot take on the Celtics.
Hit it.
I think they're not re-signing Kyrie because they're ready to give Jason Tatum the keys already. That's just me, because you already have Gordon Hayward locked up. Then you want to lock up Jalen. Then you lock up Tatum. And you lock up Terry Rozier. So you, instead of giving Kyrie stupid amount of money, just give it to the younger player and Jason Tatum, who is more suited for today's NBA, as great as Kyrie is. But Jason Tatum is a one-on-one wing who can play some defense sometimes. It's obviously going to grow because he's young and he's going to learn more. And he already has the scoring touch. He has that one-on-one game. So, and then maybe, like you remember in the summertime, Jimmy Butler and Kyrie Irving wanted to join each other in the East. Guess where Jimmy Butler is now? Ooh, the Sixers?
Why? Is he gonna? What's that going to mean?
What if Kyrie came to the Sixers? And kept Jimmy Butler? And who cares if Markelle Fultz is the number one pick coming off the bench? It don't matter at this point.
I don't care, but can we afford all that?
No.
We cannot afford all that. And at this point, I think we got... Now, I don't know how much of an alpha Kyrie is or / wants to be, but we got 3 dogs right now. And I'm nervous with that already. I read this thing this week that I don't know how true it is, and I got upset when I saw it, but they said Ben and Joel aren't the best of friends. I kind of call BS on that. They don't need to be the best of friends, for starters. They need to be able to work together. They need to be able to work together.
Yeah, I agree.
And, and that's all it is. And
I think it's just another
throw
point.
Hate on Ben.
Go ahead.
No, people throw hate on Ben all they want. They say, sometimes people do it like a Joel versus Ben thing. Like, no, how about it be a Joel and a Ben thing? And we're going to get buckets together. Yeah. People always look at it like, oh, Joel had a great night, Ben didn't do well. Well, Ben would have had 9 assists if people hit their shots. Or Ben would have did this if he did this right. But the Ben is giving you full max on defense. So when people say, like, oh, Ben ain't doing too well, he is giving you it all on defense still every time.
All right.
In an 82-game season, though, he has lagged a little in some areas. But we know Ben's going to come. And when Ben comes, maybe by the next podcast, we're about Ben Simmons getting 3 triple-doubles in a week. Because he could do that. He could turn it on like that.
Yeah,
and that's what makes him one of the best players in the league, or a top 20 player in the league, and, like, a generational talent. Yeah, I said it. That's good.
I would love to be able to report and say my opinions on Ben Simmons' 3 triple-doubles. So I guess that is a great way, an appropriate way to end the podcast. Dante appropriately man-crushing on Ben Simmons, spewing his love from the mouth. Don, you got anything to say to the people? Plug, anything?
No need. I got nothing left. It's all Ben right now.
All right. Dante's going to go kiss his Ben poster before he goes to sleep, and he'll be happy thinking about number 25. From us, I'd like to just plug the SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Justin DiVirgilio, even though in it it'll say the Outlet Pass Podcast. You can listen there. YouTube/Justin DiVirgilio. You can listen to it on YouTube as well if you like YouTube more. The Instagram at the Outlet Pass Podcast. And when you're on SoundCloud, please hit the little heart, like it, and maybe repost it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And like I'm about to say, this is the Outlet Pass Podcast. The ball being our opinions. We're passing it out to you. Peace.